Well, right now we're in the midst of this massive destruction of the federal government. It's said by Donny Boy and his buddies that it's all full of corruption. It's waste, fraud, and abuse. Blah blah blah. Federal employees don't do anything. Why should we keep them on? I'll discuss why about that in a little bit, but it's pretty insulting to federal employees. Now, I've worked for the federal government twice. The first time was in the Army, and I'll agree there was a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. I mean, they had no idea what to do with me. I did a job that didn't need to be done. Wandered around Korea for a while. It was just kind of typical military waste. But the real job I had was working for the post office. Now, the post office gets a bad rap of, snail mail. It doesn't get there forever. They don't do anything. They sit on their tail. I would defy you to actually go work at the post office, and you'll find that's not really true. When I went to work there, I came there at 2 o'clock in the morning. There was a 40-foot van sitting out there, and they said, you got 20 minutes to get it unloaded. And so I unloaded it in 20 minutes. A lot of packages, a lot of bags of mail, and all sorts of stuff were flying everywhere. Well, I worked there for probably 5 or 6 years. The people that worked there really did care that they got their job done right. And they worked hard to get it right. We wanted our mail to go out. We wanted, trucks would come in. We would distribute to other trucks, and they'd go out. This is a sectional center, so there's a lot of this trucks coming in and out sort of thing. We were very disappointed if we went stuck. What's going stuck is not getting all the mail distributed by the time the trucks come for it. So we worked really hard to do that. And most of the time we got it done. And I mean, there's slackers in the post office. There's slackers everywhere. There's always the ones that are kissing up to the boss and that sort of stuff to try to get easier work. And some that didn't come, they used all the sick leave they could and all that sort of stuff. There's always been those, but those are there everywhere, in any business. But for the most part, the people that were there, I was proud to work with them. They did good work, and they would work harder to get it out if it was necessary to hustle their tail and get it out. Could you cut it? Maybe a little bit. For a while I was a foreman there, and I ran a crew of about 23 to 27 people. I would not have wanted to cut that crew. Probably most of the time we'd get it out, but if there was a bunch more mail or some mail come in late, it probably wouldn't have gone out if we'd had a smaller crew. So you should be looking at government workers the same way everybody else does, everybody else's work. They do the best they can do. Oftentimes, and nobody wants to say this, but oftentimes they are doing work with far less people than they should have, or far less equipment than they should have. They get cut back by the government all the time. And so there's things that you can't do. There were things we had at the post office. Heck, we had trucks from the 40s. And some of the equipment was pretty dangerous to work on. It wasn't very good. But what I'm saying is, they're just like anybody else. They do their job. They get paid for it. Now remember, the government it provides things that businesses don't provide. It's primarily a service-oriented organization. It's trying to do things for the people that live there. And they don't make a profit doing it. So it's not a great idea to just knock these people down and make these statements about, they're just a bunch of slackers, don't want to do anything, just sitting on their tail, picking up a check. Because from my experience, it's not true. Okay, let's go a little deeper in this thing. The USAID, Donny Boy has literally destroyed it. And I talked about that a little earlier. We will pay a price for the loss of that organization. It will be bad. And he doesn't seem to like their politics. Well, they're not going to be card-carrying conservatives. They're going to be liberal. They're doing things for people. Liberals do that. Unfortunately, an awful lot of conservatives do not. They don't do anything for anybody, a lot of them. And they're going to be generally forward-looking, which is a Democratic thing. Republicans, I used to be a Republican. They don't seem to want to care for anybody except themselves. And let's look a little farther into why they're doing this. It's my opinion they're doing this to destroy the federal government. They want the power in the executive. They don't want Congress involved in this. Congress should just be a rubber stamp for whatever leader is there. That is a fascist state. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're trying to get. They're going to throw some religion in it too. Remember, 2025 is exactly, you can follow right through the book on that. That's what they're doing. And do you really think you're going to get more, you're going to get better service or something and save a bunch of money? You're not going to do any of that stuff. It's still going to cost a fortune to have a government. It's just going to go into different hands. And it'll be a lot less open. This guy keeps talking about, we have to have openness and all this. There's no openness in any of this stuff. The guy has never had anything. He was a king of NDAs. If you don't know what that is, non-disclosure agreement. He had non-disclosure agreements for everybody. The guy cleaning out his bathroom had a non-disclosure agreement. He wants to hide everything, and he wants to concentrate that power in the executive. If he does fire people, he will and replace them. He'll probably fire a lot and not replace them. But if he does replace them, he's going to put political hacks in there. We had political hacks in our government for a long time, and we finally got rid of them. Not all of them, obviously, but we got rid of most of the political hacks and turned over government to professionals that knew what they were doing. Because we could no longer be that little country over there that had a lot of resources but didn't do much with them. We're kind of the big dog. So this is going towards a fascist state. I don't know if we can stop it or not. I'm very, very worried about what's going to happen to our country. And that's it on this one.